Hey guys, it's Unbiased Election Predictions here, and today we're going to be talking about how to use Dave's redistricting. So, I've gotten a few requests for those of you who follow me on Twitter to talk about Dave's redistricting. Some of you want, I know someone asked me to do an 8-0 Maryland Democratic gerrymander. That's kind of been, I guess, a meme as of late. But this is going to be a Dave's redistricting tutorial for all of you who don't know how to use it. It's a little funky when you start, but it's pretty easy to figure out. So we're just gonna get started. I know you guys don't want me to waste too much time. So we're just gonna start, and we're just gonna make. So first, uh, so we're gonna go to davesredistricting.org, and then you're gonna sign in. I'm signed in, but so there's no option for me to sign in. But if you want to, you can just go out. Go up here. I think there's an option, or it's over here or something, and you can sign in. So now we're gonna open a map, and to do so, you're gonna click on Maps. Then you're gonna open a new map, as you can see. So it'll ask you to, I guess, title it, and I'll just name it Test for Tutorial. And you can pick a state. I'm just gonna, I guess I'll just choose a state that I'm fairly familiar with gerrymandering. I've gotten decent at gerrymandering, I guess, some states. We're going to try to find a random state. I guess Nebraska is a very easy state to gerrymander, so we're just going to do congressional districts, 3 districts. That's how many districts they have, and you're going to hit apply. There's some more settings, but you can start. So right here, so here's the precinct map of Nebraska. Obviously, these aren't counties. If you want a county map, you can click here, counties, and then it'll show you each county. But yeah, so you can obviously adjust the amount of districts you want. But for Nebraska, we're just going to stay with 3. But there is going to be some interesting stuff we're going to do here. So first, let's just say that we want to gerrymander this to favor the Democrats. Now, you can gerrymander to favor Republicans too, but I like to start out with a blank map. You can start out with the current district, but I'd recommend starting out with a blank map. And I'm going to use green for the Democratic district, mostly because when you turn on... Whoops, hold on. Because when you turn on partisan lean and precincts, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. You don't want to use blue because blue can get confused with, like, as you can see, these are Democratic precincts because blue can get confused with these Democratic precincts. So yeah, and purple's kind of similar, but I think green's the best for a Democratic precinct. And then yeah, so to turn on precinct, to turn on the precinct partisan lean, you just click under precincts. You're going to click partisan lean, and now you can see the partisan lean of the precincts. So you can see most of the map is red, but some of these bigger population centers like Omaha or Lincoln, they're a bit bluer. So, and then there's a Native American area, I think, up here. I'm forgetting the name of the county, but there's some blues scattered around. I think there's a couple blue precincts over here. There's 2. So, yeah, but Nebraska is a pretty red state, as you probably know. So, yeah. Now, just to play with the settings for a bit, you can, I guess, just for to show you guys a few examples. To start, well, I saved an image on accident, so you can just click a few districts, play around with it, click a few precincts, play around with it, and you now have, I guess, a district. It's obviously doesn't have population equity. It's only 3,000 people strong, but to turn on district lines, you can just go like that. Then turn off precinct lines, and it'll show you the outline of your district. You can also turn off partisan linear precincts, so there you can just see your district like that. But what you can do, however, is what I like to do is you can look at the partisan lean of your precinct. So for your district. So for your district, you can turn off map colors. And what you can turn on is partisan lean, and you'll see it's a very red district. Interestingly enough, is that never mind. So it's a very red district. You can also, if you just want to look at the only current district, it doesn't do anything right here, but you can just click only current, and it'll show you literally only your current district. So yeah. Now I'm just gonna go map colors right now, and we're gonna get rid of this because we're gonna start out with, I guess, if you're gonna gerrymander this in favor of the Democrats, and I'm gonna gerrymander this Nebraska map in favor of the Democrats. Whoa, I did not mean to do that. We can get rid of that. We're just going to turn off district lines and turn on precinct lines. So yeah, now what you're going to do here is you're going to fill in. You hold down on your mouse or trackpad or whatever you're using, and we're going to hold down for a lot of Omaha. And I'm going to cut part of this out. I'm going to have to edit this video because this could be a 30-minute video, but I'm going to try to make it under 10. So you're just going to hold down, click on these precincts, and to check on your district when it's it's 115,000 people. So to check on your district, you can just do partisan lean. It's a very blue district right now, but you can't just touch a couple of blue precincts and say, look, we've gerrymandered to favor the Democrats. That's illegal. You have to have population equity, and there's some other rules, like you can't just, like, I guess, go all the way over here and click a precinct and then say it's part of the same district. They have to be connected. They have to be congruent. So yeah, you also some states. I don't think that it applies to Nebraska, but in some states you're not allowed to to I guess go around county lines. Like you can't have half a county be split between two districts. But I think Nebraska, we're lucky enough to have that flexibility where we can kind of mess around. So the goal of this gerrymander is right now Nebraska's second district is a lean D district. Now Kara Eastman, who ran a horrible campaign, she lost her House seat there, but Joe Biden won the district by 7. So they split their tickets between a Republican in the House and a Democrat for president. Now, the Democrats in Nebraska also nominated a very bad candidate for Senate, Chris Janicek. He ran for Senate, and he did horribly. He lost every single county to Ben Sass. So, yeah. So we're just going to cut this part out while I fill in these parts of Omaha that are left remaining. So, yeah, so we've now essentially taken all of the city, all of the blue part of the city of Omaha. The suburbs are still pretty red. In a couple of red-leaning areas, I mean, if you want to turn it off, there's some red-leaning areas that are part of Omaha, but it's still a blue district, as you can see by, whoa, I didn't want to do that. As you can see by partisan lean, it's still a pretty blue district. Now we can, I guess, add these into, but it's still a blue district, and it doesn't have population equity. So let's, we could just give it the rest of this area around it, but that would still make it, a competitive district. We want to make this a pretty solid Democratic district. So what are we going to do? Well, we have a big Democratic center here, Lincoln, and we're going to try to connect this district to Lincoln. So let's grab a few of these precincts. Now, what I could do is I could grab this precinct, but then we'd have to take this other precinct, then we'd have to do that to make it congruent. But we're not going to do that. So instead, we're going to go another route, and I think we're going to just try to connect this by as thin as possible. So just going to make sure this is connected. Yes, it is. And now we have to fill that in, which is inconvenient, but we're going to make our way down here and try. I'm going to avoid this precinct because if you click on this, you have to fill in these two. So those are Republican. We don't want that. So what we're going to do here is we are going to grab these precincts, and now we've made our way to Lincoln, and the district's still pretty blue, so we have some breathing room. And if you want, I like to do this because this is kind of annoying. You can, I guess, to make it look a bit less gerrymandered, you can kind of add in some space around it if you have a little breathing room. If you don't have breathing room, do not do that. You don't need to, but I like to do it because it looks weird when you just have it connected barely. So now we've got 184,000 people short of making this a solid blue district, and now we're going to need to add in some parts of Lincoln, which is the capital of Nebraska. For those of you who don't know, it's the other big Democratic area of the state, but it's Nebraska's a very rural state, which is why the state's pretty Republican. I mean, the last time that a Democrat won a statewide election there was, I think, 2006. I don't know. I'm trying to keep it interesting here because I'm going to cut some part of this out, but I just want to I guess keep it interesting. So yeah, now I'm going to fill in the rest of Lincoln for this district right here. So I'm going to cut out this part, or I'm actually not, but I'm just going to show you. So right now, it's looking pretty good. I mean, we have a pretty solid blue district right here, and we can show you the exact numbers in a second, but I do not have population equity. In fact, I got carried away for a few minutes, and I clicked too many precincts, and now we do not have population equity. So to undo this, you can just hit the un button, which is basically undo. You can go back, and you can get rid of some of these precincts. Ideally, they're going to be red precincts because we still want this to be blue, but you can turn off this. We can see which are red, so we're going to get rid of some of these precincts because we need to have population equity. So we're just going to get rid of that, and you don't want to throw that in the mix. We're just going to do a little of this. Now we're 4,000 people. We're getting closer. We're pretty close to this. They actually allow, the courts allow a 0.75% population deviation, but if you're 489 people short, it probably won't be too bad. I mean, you can cut off a tiny part, I guess. That's pretty close. 139 people short of what it should be. Still got a blue district, so we've just gerrymandered Nebraska to make it so that they now have one solid blue district, and we'll show you the statistics right here. I don't know why I'm saying we. This went from a D, I guess in the House it was an R+2 district. It is now, as you can see, a D+14 district. So let's go back to the map and look at that. You can now we got what we wanted to do. So now we're gonna just try and, I guess, draw a pretty fair map of the rest of the state. And what you could do is go through the whole state and fill in every precinct. But what we're going to do is we're going to do by county to cover as much territory as we can, and that should be a lot easier for us to do. Some of these counties have literally one. Arthur County has literally one precinct. That's interesting. And we're just going to keep going until we get population equity, and we're going to have to, I guess, at some point or another, we're going to have to split some counties, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes to us. So we're just going to keep filling in this. This is going to be the biggest district because it's most rural. I mean, out here you get kind of rural. I mean, this is Scotts Bluff County is kind of like of all of western Nebraska, kind of like the only decently big county because, like, right next to is Banner County. They have 690 people. So, yeah, we're just going to keep filling this in. Keep it up. We're 40,000 people short. We're going to keep going. Go around. 4,000 people short. Let's find a county that has that amount of people. So we're just gonna I guess take a smaller county and then try to split some counties as well. Let's find a 4,000. You know what? Fine, we'll go like that, and then we're gonna have to undo some of this, some of that. So you can see right here, just gonna have to get rid of some of this, and now we are 131 people short of what it should be. So far pretty good. This is always gonna be a solid Republican. I mean, we'll show you the exact stats in a second, but yeah. So now moving on, this is gonna be the purple. It's just gonna be the rest of the map. So county, I'll just fill in all these counties. This should be pretty easy because once you gerrymander the district that you need, it gets really easy from there. So we're just gonna fill this in. Now I'm gonna fill in the rest of the precincts. So you can click this button up here that'll show you what to do for, I guess, precincts. It'll show what to do whether you want to fill in counties or precincts. Counties, I like to go by precinct because precincts are more specific and they're more interesting in my opinion than counties, and because counties are pretty big, but when you just have like a bunch of rural area that's the counties have like 1,000 people in them, you can just use counties and be lazy, which is not lazy. It's efficient. It doesn't waste as much time as it should. So I guess a rookie play would be to only use the precincts even when you have all this open space. So yeah, and I'm going to cut this part out as you can see. So yeah, there you have it. We have gerrymandered Nebraska to favor the Democrats. Now let's make sure that there are no unassigned precincts before we celebrate. And there are no unassigned precincts, as you can see. All precincts are assigned, so we're good to go. Now, to make the map look good, so you can take a screenshot or something, turn off precinct lines, turn on district lines, and if you want to label your districts, you can do so. You can label your districts. I don't really care. I don't really have a preference, I guess, like that. So 1, 3, 2. And yeah, so now you can turn on partisan to see, and look at this. We have went from a toss-up lean D district to a pretty solid D district. Now we can show the exact stats. I'm going to bet that the first district is going to be the most Republican, the second's going to be the most Democratic, and the third's going to be kind of in the middle, but definitely Republican leaning. So yeah, now let's see how Republican the first district. It is 74.2% Republican to only 23.6% Democrat. As you can see, the third, as I said, is a little more Democratic than the first, but still pretty Republican. So you can go back to map and look at this. We have gerrymandered Nebraska. So if you're following along with me, thank you. If this tutorial did help you out, I want you to comment that below because I want to see. I'm not great at explaining things. I think. But I hope this worked for you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you continue to use Dave's Redistricting. So yeah, thank you, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.